Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, if you've been offline for even like a second this week, you have missed a lot. Today, we're spilling the absolute tech tea on the last 5 days of AI, art, and hardware news. We are talking mind-bending generative models, brain speed chips, and just a massive tidal wave of billion-dollar legal drama. It's high energy, it's fast-paced, and it's exactly what you need to know right now to stay ahead of the curve.
Okay, let's dive into this. The AI space is moving at a completely insane pace, and this week was no exception. We're catching up on everything from trillion-parameter open models breaking out of the lab to the fierce lawsuits trying to reel them all back in. If you're a digital creator today, you already know the ground beneath your feet is shifting every single day, and this explainer is going to be your anchor. So let's kick things off with the major W's for creators this week.
Section 1. New AI creation drops spilling the tech tea on generative tools. So the software side of things is getting a serious power-up. Black Forest Labs just announced FLUX 3. And yeah, notice they actually dropped the dot in the name. This isn't just an image generator anymore. It's a completely unified, multimodal powerhouse handling image, video, and audio all at once. Powered by their new self-flow learning framework, it can generate up to 20-second videos with perfectly synced sound. And they aren't even stopping at media. They're actually teaming up with Mimic Robotics to use FLUX 3 for predicting physical robot behavior. Now, what's really interesting here is how FLUX 3 is already stacking up against the heavyweights. In human evaluations for 10-second, 720p sound-synced video, FLUX 3 is absolutely crushing it. It boasts a 69% win rate against Grok Imagine Video and a solid 52% win rate against both Cdance 2.0 and Gemini Omni Flash. The visual intelligence here is evolving incredibly fast. Keeping the rapid-fire updates rolling, Midjourney just previewed V8.2. They're making this huge push for natural creativity, but without the unintentional graphic gore we've all run into. Instead of relying on those lazy, aggressive post-generation filters that just block your prompts, they're actually training the model to produce inherently good and safe images by default. Smarter prompt behavior means the AI actually knows the difference between a naturally ambiguous prompt and one where you explicitly asked for something violent. 3 trillion. Think about that scale for a second. Moonshot AI just dropped Kimi K3, and it is the very first open model in the 3 trillion parameter class. It features native vision and a staggering 1 million token context window. In their internal case studies, this absolute beast ran for 15 hours autonomously optimizing GPU kernels, and it even reproduced high-level astrophysics research in just 2 hours. This is a monumental leap for open-weight models. But, how does this all hit your daily workflow? The Pro Tools are integrating all of this seamlessly. Over in Adobe Premiere Pro, you can now use Generative Extend to literally just magic extra frames onto the beginning or end of your clips. Plus, there's a new AI object masking tool that isolates and tracks subjects with a single click. Meanwhile, Autodesk's Maya 2026.2 is now letting 3D artists train their own custom AI animation models. The tech is coming straight to your timeline. But while the software is evolving, the physical world is trying really hard to keep up. Section 2. Tech meets physical reality, immersive worlds, and hardware. Just this past week, over 9,500 attendees gathered in Los Angeles for SIGGRAPH 2026. The energy there was completely electric. We saw an incredible keynote from Disney Imagineer Lanny Smoot, who, by the way, holds 107 patents, plus the highly anticipated debut of their inaugural Games Summit. But the real crowd pleaser? That was the Robo Dojo, where attendees were physically guiding AI-driven robots through an immersive training ground right there on the exposition floor. Also in LA, visionary artist Refik Anadol opened Dataland, which is a brand new private museum for AI arts. It features this multi-sensory rainforest exhibit that actually uses your biometrics to alter the projections in real time. It's visually stunning, for sure, but we're seeing some fascinating critique, too. Reviewer Jody Zellen noted that, while it's highly seductive, it kind of borders on sensory overload, writing, "The while pervades, overwhelming the why and how." It's a perfect example of that modern tension between massive AI spectacle and meaningful artistic critique. Section 3. Brain chips enter the chat. Hardware matching human speed. Okay, so if you thought software was moving fast, introduce yourselves to the next mind-bending leap. For years, traditional AI chips have seriously struggled with the data movement bottleneck. Basically, moving data back and forth between memory and processors takes precious time and energy.
But a research team led by Peking University just developed a sub-10 millisecond neural dynamic system based on phase change member stirs. Essentially, it performs all those complex calculations directly inside the memory itself. And this brilliantly illustrates just how staggering this hardware leap actually is. 478. In tasks like cortical surface reconstruction, which is mapping out the complex folds of the brain, this new chip is 478 times faster than an NVIDIA A100 GPU. It literally operates in real time, bringing us so much closer to instant medical imaging and advanced brain-computer interfaces. Section 4. The AI copyright drama, massive lawsuits and legal reality. All right, we've talked about the major wins and the truly amazing tech, but let's transition into the L's of the week for AI companies, because you really can't build limitless AI without hitting the harsh billion-dollar wall of legal reality. The landscape has totally flipped right now. In the past, AI companies just hoovered up the entire internet with virtually unrestricted data scraping. But the present reality, we are seeing a fierce legal pushback from artists, authors, and record labels, resulting in billion-dollar copyright settlements. That whole ask for forgiveness later era might be officially over. $1.5 billion. Just to put that into perspective, that is a staggering amount of money. A federal judge just approved this record-breaking $1.5 billion settlement involving the AI company Anthropic. They were sued for using pirated copies of copyrighted books to train their Claude chatbot. Elaborating on this neutrally, plaintiff attorney Justin Nelson called this the largest known copyright recovery in history. Under this newly approved settlement, thousands of authors, including thriller novelist Andrea Bartz, who originally initiated the suit, are now due a payment of about $3,000 per book that was used in the training data. Now, Anthropic maintains that training on books is fundamentally fair use, but they agreed to settle this just to bring the matter to a close. And the drama doesn't stop with books. Let's pivot over to the music industry. 30,117. That is the exact number of sound recordings that Sony Music Entertainment is asserting in a brand new copyright infringement lawsuit against the AI music generation platform Udio. To break down the facts completely objectively here, Sony claims that Udio specifically bypassed digital protections to stream-rip these tracks directly from YouTube to train their models, and they're seeking statutory damages of up to $150,000 per work. Udio, on the other hand, acknowledges they used vast amounts of audio data, but they argue firmly that their training methods fall strictly under fair use. Interestingly, Udio has already struck licensing deals with Universal and Warner, but Sony is refusing to settle. It is a very high-stakes standoff. Section 5. The TLDR for you. What this means for your workflow. So the absolutely crucial point is, how does this all connect back to you? Let's bring all these sweeping global updates right back to your digital life. If we summarize the last 5 days, it looks exactly like this dynamic. We have breathtaking innovation on one side, FLUX 3 doing multimodal magic, Premiere extending your frame seamlessly, and chips that literally compute at the speed of human thought. But on the other side, the reality check hits hard. Crushing copyright lawsuits, physical installations bordering on sensory overload, and the looming financial cost of just keeping up with API access. It's a very dual reality that you have to navigate right now. Which brings us to a whole new definition of what a creator is in 2026. Being a creator today isn't just about mastering a canvas or a timeline. It's about navigating this intense, constant tension. You have these limitless generative AI tools right at your fingertips, but you also have a very real, fierce fight for the protection of digital footprints, fair use, and intellectual property happening all around you. As these tools get smarter, faster, and just way more integrated into our everyday realities, the boundaries are only going to get blurrier. You have unprecedented power to build worlds, but the industry is actively warring over who actually owns the bricks you're building with. So as you go and update your software this week, I'll leave you with this. Where will you draw the line between creation and copyright? Thanks for hanging out for this explainer. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.